from Media Row, Mandalay Bay Convention Center. Super Bowl 58 going down on Sunday. And Randy going to grab a seat with our good friend,
well, and
or
this
Team
is
Gramatica.
This is the only exception, okay? Because I said that I don't want to like have people sitting down, and this is the only exception to the Warren Sapp, which we are waiting for. We don't know when it'll be here, but this is. Let's wait till he puts it on. Welcoming back to the program. This is the most times I've seen you in a week.
I know, man. You don't call me anymore. We don't talk anymore. So
right. So we have to meet on Radio Row. So yeah, Warren just walked by. I think he's over. I don't want to say which booth because I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't seen him. We just got here.
So what have you been doing since last time we spoke?
So
we are talking to Martin Gramatica, legend of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
So we've done every show on Univision from the morning to all their news shows. So we're on pretty much all day, and then small clips, where they come in, and then we do some of their sports shows as well. So it's pretty busy.
Is this overwhelming for you? Is this fun for you? Is this just a job for you?
No, it's fun because I haven't been to a Super Bowl in a while now, so it's cool to come back and experience it again. I remember experiencing Radio Row, maybe 10 years ago. So now to be back is pretty cool to see how much it's changed too. From like our media day to now it's called opening day, which is more of a production more than just interviews anymore.
What was the strangest thing that you remember, if you can remember that far back of that Super Bowl in 2002? I remember somebody in a wedding dress asking somebody I don't remember which player, to marry her. Do you remember anything silly, fruity, whatever?
She's actually works for our competitor in Univision, so I know who you're talking about. She's actually from a Mexican TV station. But yeah, no, nobody asked me to marry them at the Super Bowl. And I remember, I can tell you that. It was just, for us, I think it was a crazy week and a fast week because we played Philly and then we played the week after. We didn't have that buffer week, so everything just became chaos really fast, in obviously preparation for the game, but still we went from winning the championship game in Philly to flying to San Diego and just preparing for the game.
Did you go straight to San Diego?
No. We came to Tampa, but I think our layover was like
a
couple hours.
Right.
Went home, packed whatever we could, and then headed over to San Diego.
I know I was in Philly. I remember calling my wife saying, they just won. I'm coming home. I'm going straight to San Diego. We flipped it. Did you guys, and I've never asked you this, you knew you were going to win. You thought you were going to win. You planned on winning. Did you guys prepare like that, or did you literally have to go home and pack, or did you have anything ready thinking you were going to win?
I personally didn't. We felt like we were going to win. We were ready to go win. We wanted to win. I mean, everything, but you don't want to jinx it.
Right.
Have your bags ready. I'm just going to pick up my bags. I think the rumor was that Philly had a plane already going with equipment and stuff to San Diego. So we didn't want to do that.
Right.
We were like, let's take care of business first, which the priority was winning the game before we could prepare to go to San Diego. So I didn't have anything prepared. I just remember getting there and real quick turning around and getting on the flight.
As a player back in the day, I'm thinking of questions I should have asked you, 10, 15 years ago. I remember vividly we're just outside the field because back in the day, we could come on the field with like 4 minutes left. And I remember standing there, and I've always said, I'm not a fan of the Buccaneers. I'm not a fan of any team. I'm a fan of players. I'm a fan of, people that you get a relationship with.
Right.
So I'm standing with some of the local Tampa Bay media, and one of the local Tampa Bay media is wearing a Philadelphia Eagles hat.
Did you smack him?
I looked at him like, what's wrong with you? I don't. But that's my question. As a player, is that upsetting? Or, they're doing their job, their media. They may not be a Buccaneer fan.
Right. Not everybody's a Buccaneer fan, but I feel like if you're there covering the Buccaneers for a Tampa media, whatever it is, whether it's TV, radio, or newspaper, you should have at least a little respect and not wear a Philadelphia Eagles hat, especially after we had just beaten them a couple of days earlier to get to the Super Bowl. So, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, they can wear whatever they want, but it's kind of you can look at it a little bit disrespectful that way.
It was definitely strange, and that's why I didn't even wear Buccaneer stuff. It's not neutral because obviously at least that team, I was all in. I wanted you guys to win because of my relationships with all you guys, but I still didn't think I wanted to wear I'm supposed to be semi-neutral.
Right.
I remember, and I've always told all my guys, you don't show this, you don't show that. The only time that I've ever clapped in the press box It was, and
A
it was
field goal, I hope.
yeah, okay.
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 All right.
All right, there you go. Yeah, I did that publicly. This is what I hit under the table.
Nice.
It's when Aaron Stecker returned a kick
All right.
against the Buccaneers.
Oh, whoa.
He went to New Orleans,
Yeah.
and it rolled through his legs. He turned out, he picked it up, and I went under the table, and I just clapped like real because I don't show emotion. You're not supposed
You're not
to show
supposed to
emotion.
in the
Right.
media press box. You're not supposed to. They don't want you to show emotion.
Exactly.
So, yeah. So you were a Stecker fan, I guess, huh?
And then, he was a
cool
Yeah,
dude.
he was definitely a good guy.
Yeah.
They did look down on me the time after you did kick a field goal when I jumped in the air and I did your thing.
Yeah. You did that a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
because you did it a lot.
So Martine, all right. So we see the new NFL. We see in Detroit, a lot of live by the three, die by the three in basketball. We see fourth down conversions. You're going for it more often than the conservative play calling of years past. As a kicker, do you want the moments? Do you want those opportunities to put 3 points on the board and believe in yourself and in your role? Or do you want your head coach to go for 4th and 2, 4th and 1, and keep the play alive, keep the drive alive where you don't have to go in?
No, as a kicker, you always want to go in because you feel like you're helping the team. But at the end, but you have to see what the circumstances of the game are. If the coach feels like, and the other things too, they say you should never take points off the board. If there's a penalty, you make the kick, and there's a penalty. So things like that. That's happened to me a couple times. Where like, man, I just made a nice kick. Now it doesn't count. And then a lot of times you end up not getting the touchdown and having to re-kick it. So you're like, wait, they should have just kept it. The one that I just made, it's a little bit longer.
Right.
But in Detroit's case, it's a lot easier to criticize now. But I feel like they should have learned from their mistake against the Cowboys.
Right.
Because on that play where they declared, but the ref didn't see that he declared,
Yeah.
and then he went for it again twice, and didn't get it.
Right.
So you would think maybe learn from your mistakes, but it's hard to it's easier to criticize now. But at the time, if he gets that fourth down,
I was going to say that if he makes it, he's the
a
smartest
genius.
guy on planet.
Right. But I feel like there was a couple plays where the call was correct. The correct call, the player was open, but they just dropped. They had 2 drops on fourth down that were legit drops. You make
for
one,
sure.
You convert one of those 4 downs and you win the game. Sure. I feel like the game turned and changed when it went off the helmet and they caught it on the 5-yard line. I said, okay. I looked at my wife right there. We were watching the game. I said, 49ers will win the game. You just feel like they have that luck. When you get a lucky play like that, you feel like the luck's turning. And then the next series they fumble, and that was over.
Right. Well, what about the icing? All right, so they ice the kicker. Are you one of the guys that you want to go through and do that practice? Because sometimes I'm watching them, and they make it, and then they miss it when it's for real.
Right. That's only happened to me one time that I can remember, and I made the kick. So, but a lot of guys, I feel like you can use that to their advantage. I hate when you kick it and then they call it right before you kick it. So now you make it and now it doesn't count. You're like, oh man, I got to do it again. So I don't like that rule where they're letting you go through the kick and then calling it right there. But yeah, so a lot of the kickers, they're so good and they're so mentally tough these days that they could use that to their advantage to prepare even a little bit more. So I don't know. It may work on some, may not.
All right, we've been friends a long time. I know you're going to say this is a stupid question, but I need to ask you this, because we've talked about this on the air. All right, so the biggest complaint about soccer, especially in America, is it's a low-scoring game. 1-0 is boring as hell. 2-1 is boring as hell. What if they changed it to American football numbers, and if every goal was 6 points? So now the final score is 12-6 because there's 12-6 football, 12-7 football games. It's the same thing. It's 2 scores.
No, I agree with you 100%. That's where when you hear that argument, well, I could watch a 0-0 game. That's super exciting. It has a ton of action. Just there's a keeper there to make saves,
right.
And there could be great shots and then great saves. So, yeah, when I hear that argument, I think it's the dumbest thing ever because a 14-7 game, it's only 2-1. So. Yeah, so that's why maybe soccer maybe should implement a different scoring system. Maybe they get people to like it. But now they're implementing. I don't know if you saw that. They just came out the blue card, which is a 10-minute power play if you're wasting time. So you lose a player for 10 minutes. I think the Premier League's going to start that.
Really?
Which it's kind of like an indoor soccer rule that they're using. So I've never heard of it. They just I believe voted it or they're voting on it. But I just saw something this morning that they may implement that.
I don't want to call them fake injuries, but what about all of those where it literally looks like they've been shot 3 times?
Well, that's part of the game. And actually, in some cases they teach that. It's part of like learning how to. If you're not better than the opponent, you got to figure out how to beat your opponent. And if you happen to score a goal that against a team that's better than you, it's called park the bus, when you just throw everybody back, defend, and you waste time. You kick the ball out of bounds, you make substitutions. Like if you're going to sub a player out, you time to go as far away as possible and walk as slow as they can. So there's little tricks that all these coaches use.
And as I asked that, let's look at the NFL. Let's look at football. It's the same thing. You lay on top of the guy.
Right.
You're trying to stall minutes.
You run the ball. If you're up, you run the ball. You don't throw.
Right.
So that's similar. Still,
right.
I mean, it's still a play, but you change your strategy.
You stand over the ball until the ref is able to get it from you. But yeah, it's in football as well.
Earlier, Randy saw Kurt Warner over here, and he remembers a call when Kurt was at a job doing radio, and his son had broke his leg.
Why are you throwing me under the bus?
No, but if his son would have had that spray that they use in soccer, they could have fixed that broken bone on the spot.
I don't know if it fixes broken bones, but
I mean,
it's
he'd be running around in a second.
It's a magical spray. I've never had it, but it's magical.
Well, I used to be bat boy for the St. Louis Cardinals, and back in the late 70s, and they used it all the time. Like somebody would slide into second, like sprain their ankle, and this trainer would run out and spray this thing, and he pops up, and it's like
they're ready to go.
They're ready to go.
Yeah.
So, what's your schedule the rest of the day?
So today's pretty low key. I'm doing the NFL honors tonight, so doing that and just a little bit, couple more media things, but nothing major. So it's pretty. Now that the chaos is here, we're slowing down a little bit. But tomorrow's a pretty busy day.
Well, I would thank you. Well, I am thanking you, but I would hey, we'll talk soon. We'll talk to you later. But no, we're going to probably talk to you in about 20, 25 minutes.
Oh, we are?
Well, yeah, when guest that's across over there is going to come back.
He's coming back?
Yeah.
You sure he's coming back?
No, he is coming.
What time did he tell you?
He told me 11:30. But as we all know, when Warren walked by, I wanted to make sure, that he knows where we are. And he will be here.
Oh, no. If Warren tells you he'll be here, he'll be here.
He will be here.
The thing is, you don't know when, and not because he doesn't want to be here, because Warren walks in the room and everybody wants his attention.
Right.
So but that's the thing with Warren. Like his loyalty is second to none. I mean, he is the most loyal person
we
ever.
both know that.
Right. So if he tells you he's going to be here, he's going to be here. But I'm sure he's being. Is he wearing his yellow jacket?
No.
Okay, because I see some of the Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
I'm saying, Warren, you're going to recognize regardless, but. If he's wearing his yellow jacket, I'm sure they're going to pull him at every station before he gets to the.
If it is 11:30, if it's not 11:30, I will text you.
Text me.
As soon as he's here, and we'll set it up. He won't even know you're coming.
And if I'm around, I would love to come by and say hello.
We will definitely do it. Martin, as always, thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
And we'll talk to you probably in 25 minutes.
Sounds good.
All right, let's go hit the top of the hour break. Coming to you live from Radio Row here in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong, Staff Zone, Bucked Up Energy Drink, and